All right, welcome back. We're the Pacific Carry Guy. This is going to be turn number two. We're going to let the Japanese go. Now, I have taken my settings, I've turned it up so we can see a little bit more about what Japan does. We'll just click right there. You want to end the turn? Yeah, I want to end the turn. And where they're doing their turn now. Now, we can still move the map around and look, and you can see it shows him, shows the AI basically what I did, and it's got this nice little counter here. We can see how many units they have left to move, and if we had sound, you'd be hearing marching and boats steaming and things like that. If there's a battle that happens, we've got it set to center the map, so it'll zoom to that place, it'll center, and we'll see some little pop-ups come up, and we'll be able to have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Now I've got it set, like I said, I've got it set on a good size delay, a couple seconds, so this does take a little while. I like it. While the While the turn's going, we'll talk a little bit about. Oh, we got something going on here. He's moving some units. They're moving in. Gonna attack. His naval units disappeared. Don't know if they went somewhere. Maybe our reconnaissance just isn't high enough. He's moved down to take Singapore. He's took more. He's crossed the Salween. He must follow that road because I can never get my units up there that fast. He's threatening Rangoon. He's moving his units down. He took on Surabaya. Still got 50 some odd units to move. As the Allies, you're really, there's nothing you can do. Uh, and now we can see some of the weather. That is snow. There is snow around here. That means, hey, it's winter, guys. Snow on the ground. It makes combat a lot harder. That's good for us since we're China. We want combat to be a lot harder. Oh, see, now we've got a fight here. He took zero, we took zero, but he moved in. We've had to retreat, and he's gotten. But see, now we have him surrounded by units. The only problem is our units are so weak. And he did an airstrike down here. Our unit has been forced to retreat. We're gonna have to pull him out. And like I said, now if you want that attack delay to stay up that longer, you can go into your options, the little gears, and just crank it up. 53 units remaining to move. He's kept these guys in garrison. He's slowly moving his units towards Batavia and taking the Netherlands and East Indies. What he should have done is just attacked Batavia and taken the Netherlands East Indies. When Batavia falls, then Dutch East Indies just automatically surrenders. He tried to do some attacking. And we can go back, and we are gonna go back. I like to go back and look, and well, what I'm looking for when I play the Chinese is, am I costing him strength points? Because that means Japan has, to give you an idea, United States has like 390. Japan starts at 190. It's got a lot of units it's got to reinforce. It does not have the production capacity. So it's really kind of a war of attrition that if you can wear Japan down, if you're going to play Japan, first off, if you're going to start the game, I highly recommend playing the Allies. There is so much going on with Japan that you really need to be aware of the games. Now we have our turn report, and we can see all this nice little information here. The Allies deliver resources to China via the Burma Road. They got plus five production, plus two oil. Now that did not subtract from ours, as far as I can tell. This is just kind of like free production and free oil that we send them. The funny thing is, the only thing that China uses for oil is the Flying Tigers. Their land units are not mechanized at all. They don't have trucks. They're foot soldiers, and that's how they get their supplies even. So they don't even use oil. So they kind of just end up building up a lot of oil, and then we got all these units are either in low supply or out of supply. And we click off that, and we can go right here and go right down the line. Now here we start. Unit has low supply. Okay, that's because he's got a level 1. That means he's not going to fight as effectively. We're going to get him into Sydney, get him repaired. Unit has low supply. Yep, because see, he's got Manila blockaded. He's got Lingayen blockaded. They hold the Pari. They hold the Kabasi. These two units are not getting any supply at all. And he's down already to a 1. He's down already to a 1. It's not going to be. Unit has no supply source. Same thing. Unit has no supply. See, these guys are on low supply and they have no supply. Not good. Now this guy says he has low supply. Let's look at our supply. Now remember, it's winter, it's weather. He's not even getting basic supply. We're going to retreat him back so he can get basic supply. He's at level 2 right now. So he's okay, but we want to fix that while we can. Okay, unit has no supply. Low supply. No supply source. And low supply. Then we got some partisan activity. That's it. Now we can go back. What did Japan do? They had some partisan activity of their own. Submarine interdiction. Now, what this means is, I didn't even think about this when I did this. Okay. Well, no, he moved in a couple of basically PT boats. Okay. He moved in a couple of squadrons of them. Our submarine intercepted them. Our submarine achieved surprise. But remember, the American torpedoes, oh my goodness, they were horrible. The Mark 14 torpedo that they were using, uh, it was called, its airs were like an onion. You just, they found one error and they fixed it, and then they found, well, no, it's got this other problem, and then they fixed it, well, no, it's got this other problem, and they didn't really start working good really until mid 43. So it did not do very good in this fight. We did not do any damage to them, and our submarine took 1 point of damage. So we're probably going to end up needing to move this guy and get him repaired. They came in here. They didn't suffer any losses. We had to retreat. They didn't suffer any losses. They didn't suffer any losses. They ground struck us. The air unit ground struck us again. They wanted that guy out of there. Again, we had to move and retreat to 1 odds is not great odds, but they're doing it because our units are so bad. Here they attacked the 22nd Army at that spot, but we made them cost. Here we did good too, made them cost, and here we just exchanged, and our guy retreated, and he's a Army level unit. That's at 4X's, and he is hurting big time. Well, and I wonder, I bet you don't, yeah, you got a little bit of supply. Not great, but hey, he's got one, and there's some nice fours. I want to turn this off, and I want to turn that off. If I could, I can't move him, but if I could move this guy up around, we can try to maybe cut this guy off and circle him. That is something I've noticed the AI has some difficulties with. They let units get encircled that maybe shouldn't get so much encircled. I don't know where they head with this guy. He ain't doing a whole lot here, is he? We got a good defensive position here. Now, this spot right here. Right now, I'm telling him just defend normally, retreat normally. I'm going to tell him to hold. Don't retreat. It doesn't mean he won't retreat. It just means he's going to take more damage. He's going to hold out longer. Where normally he might retreat, he's going to say, nope, I need to hold and stay where I'm at. Well, can't rail very far. And he can't move any further, so let's just move him back. Oh, let's look here. Now you click on one, you hold shift, you can add, you hold control, you add them all. And we're looking now, we're crossing, he's got terrain, we're crossing a river, and he's entrenched. That's 1 to 3 odds. This is such a bad attack. So we're definitely not going to be doing it. But hopefully we're going to move this guy in right down here, surround him, cut him off some supply, make his life miserable. Now we're going to fly this guy, put him right there. He's on support. He's prioritized. So if this guy tries attacking, he's going to automatically fly and defend as long as that number right there is above 50%. March him down there. This guy, I want you prioritized. We got to get some of these guys out of Hawk. Now you see right there, India used all of its production points for upkeep, so it doesn't have any of the stockpile. So I can't get this guy out of Hawk. I can't ungarrison him. That is the bad thing about garrisoning units. But it's It just it's part of it. It's the risk you take. How we doing here? Everybody but the Prince of Wales is looking good. We got a nice little force right here. Question is, what do we want to do with it? We will look here in a minute. We may or we may not. Now, the disadvantage the Allies have at the beginning is that that'll keep them from having those resources for just that much longer. Got an air unit here. We're gonna airstrike him again. Now, this time we didn't do nothing. Got to airstrike him, and we did, we took one damage, but we dished one damage out. Let's go look and see what we did. He's got a cruiser, a couple battle cruisers. We damaged a battle cruiser. I'll take that, because like I said, that unit's gonna die. He's taking Sarawak. What the Japanese player should do, he should come down here. He should invade and attack Batavia. It's not that strong, and once he takes Batavia, all this surrenders, and he doesn't have to fight for these resources. How's our unit here doing? We're up to 8. We didn't get the full max. Gotta put him on support. Naval interdiction. Let him do some naval interdiction. Now, like I said, I can. And the United States has the points. I can change him, and I may just do that. See, we spent 337. We still got 338. In fact, we're going to go ahead and we are going to do it. Change him to naval air training, 1941. It's going to cost us 8 production points. Now, does it cost two experience per strength? I certainly hope not. We'll find out. Well, it still says 87. He's now 1941 air. And I'm wondering, do I want to go attacking somebody? Let's look and see what this guy is. He's got 4 ships with a destroyer. This is 3 ships with a light carrier group. Now, oh, but this is probably a fighter group. So, now if I fly and attack this guy, the CVs and CVLs do not intercept air units. So this guy would not intercept an air attack against this guy. But if I fly and attack this guy, air interception occurs when it's an air superiority group. This is the symbol for a fighter. If it's within the range, most fighters have a range of 6 hexes, so in a radius of 6 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got a big radius. And basically, as long as he has 50% strength, he will intercept any of my air attacks. If Japan had a bomb, well, this bomber unit right here, let's say he flies down and attacks this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's within 4. This guy, as long as you have 50% effectiveness, he will automatically escort this guy's bombing attack. He will automatically intercept and escort. So if I fly this guy now, this guy's going to defend. Now, and this is where the United States, it's a it's a interesting game. Japan starts with overwhelming superiority, but they have no way to keep it. They don't have enough production. So any little thing you make them cost is going to hurt them. By the way, this is right. Where the United States, we can lose units. We're going to do an airstrike and find out what happens. Now you look here, we lost 4 strength. The zeros just knocked us bad. We fought their 29th Air Brigade, and we did 1 land airstrike. So we lost 3 unit strength in the air combat. We lost 1 strength in doing basically AA firing away. So our unit did not do good. We're gonna retreat this guy out of there. Move him to here, and next turn we can move him down here, get him out of there. Well, the AI did a great job by moving that guy there. Don't know where he came from, but wow, that was a good move. I've noticed that when I play Japan, the AI likes to put all the Allied air units right here, and air power is the secret. So we need to get this guy repaired. Take him down to Suva. Now this guy, he's on radar mode. Now 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put him right there. Now he is 4 away. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm wondering if he will do supply interdiction. Naval units that are 4 hexes away have a chance to interdict supply going into a port. Now I notice already what all he got here. He's got a Special Naval Force landing unit. That is the Japanese Marine. Looks like he's got a fighter. And we know he had those coastal units. He's got another division here. Marines have the special ability that, like, you come down here, you got to land right here and land right here. Marines can move between those. And Marines could use here, and Marines, he can march like when you take this right here, you land here, and the Marine unit can just march all the way in. He's already moving this guy out. Wonder where he's putting him. I wonder if that's a Marine. See boy, the and what scares me too is I put him up here. He's got this airfield, and that's going to be a mess. I'd like to attack that guy, but I don't think so. What? It scares me because I'm scared of that air unit. I'm in Raider mode though, trying to hide. The New Zealand unit, it's up to 8, getting repaired. We're going to fly this guy over here to Milne Bay. And now he's in naval mode on support. Means he will do some naval air interdiction within his range of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if he uses a naval unit, this guy will try to intercept it. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now, like I said, we're not going to be moving these guys anytime soon. So let's just put them on garrison duty. Our fleet's here. We got two. The Canberra is now fully repaired. We're going to put it at Port Moresby for right now. We see we got a Japanese sub here. Right now, we have no way of attacking him. When Japanese, he's in, it's raining, that really don't matter. But when they're in the deep ocean like this, land-based air can attack them, and that's about the only thing that can attack them. Now, let's look at our Pacific Fleet. We're starting to get a little repaired up here. Again, we got all our units. We've got them all. Now, you come down here, this guy will hunt those subs. If that sub gets on there, he's going to help our escorts. But if you notice his supply is already down to two. Right here is an oiler. If I had a supply order, I could click right here. It would show me I had one for the US. I could click. Both these guys would be instantly supplied up to their full of three. Well, now, there's not a whole lot you can do with the US at the beginning. I'm going to keep these guys here because uh, by deployment, we can go right here. We can look. I get two more carriers next turn. Next turn, they'll deploy. The turn after that, I'll probably be able to use them. So you're talking January 18th, I can have four carriers. I can move four carriers out and try to do something. So we've moved Australia. Not a lot we can do in the Philippines. Not a lot we can do there. We've moved our India units, trying to get and save the Burma Road and Rangoon. China, we've moved our China units. You can tell, you can look at the operation points. What do you got left? Units that I want to move, I ain't got a lot left. So let's go to our production screens. UK, still good production. Our oil has gone way down because Japan has taken most of it, but we're not using much. We're using a massive amounts of upkeep, repair ships, repair things. We're just going to keep it the way it is. The U.S., same thing. In fact, we're going to go even higher. Well, yeah, we're going to go higher. Trying to repair everything. We're using 13 oil. Our submarines are using oil. We're flying planes. Plus, remember, we're convoying out some oil to New Zealand. So the Union, they've already got a stockpile of 32. As you can see, massive amounts of upkeep. The New Zealand, massive amounts of upkeep to uh, repair their naval units, or not their naval units, their army units. They got two army units down here. Later on, we may use them to do a little bit of garrison duty. Canada. In fact, you know what? Right now, we're going to take these guys. Turn off repair. Don't get reinforcements. I want that air unit prioritized. Australia, same thing. Same thing. Communist China. India, you can see they spent a lot. He's got a good stockpile of oil. He's making a lot of oil. That looks good. Now, now New Zealand, Remember, the United States is exporting them 3 oil. He's up to 8. How's Australia doing? No oil, only 9. Well, we'll look at that. See what can I do here? The UK can ship nothing out. The US can ship one more oil out, but it doesn't have any kind of transports left. So here's how you do this. I wish we could change this, but we can't. So we're just going to cancel it. We'll make a new trade, 19 and 1. And now Australia is at least getting 1 oil. Early in the game, I usually change these a lot and shift my convoys around depending upon who needs the oil. And our advancements and our communication intelligence points have gone up. When we get to 40, we can buy a unit. We get to 60, we can try to break the Japanese code. And when we get to a full-on 120, we can rework our code. And here we have our turn report. We can look through, see casualties, units, and we can always go back and read the game notes and find out, oh yeah, Chinese starts at war Japan. Chinese non-oil units use no oil for upkeep. There are 3 possible lease routes to China detailed below. And if you look below, somewhere in here, Chinese lease Burma Road, Air Hump, and becomes active in April of 42. And finally, the Lido Road, which becomes active May of 45. And you can see right here, to accurately represent issues with malfunctioning torpedoes, U.S. submarines start with a much lower surface value, which impacts raiding convoys and naval combat. As time progresses, it improves. At the start, U.S. submarine groups surface value is 1, and then by August 42 they go up to 2. Not good. Let's see here. I will mention here port sizes. Ports range in size of 1 to 9. See, here's a 1. If it's a 1, has a 1. If it's a regular port, it'll have just the anchor, and you can put your cursor over it and see that by this reckoning, Henderson Field has a port size of 3. Port size determines a couple things. First off, higher the better. The port size times 20 is how many supplies it gets. So Henderson Field, port size of 3 times 20, it could have 60 supplies, meaning 60 strength of units. It could have an army of 30, a flying corps of 20, and then a division of 10. That's what it can supply. It also tells you how many naval units it can supply. Henderson Field can do 3 naval units. Port size 5 and above is what's required to repair. So let me give you an example here. And port size 9, like Hawaii, it can supply any number of units. So let's say Sydney right here. Port size is 7. It can repair. It can supply 140 strength points worth of units, and it can supply 7 naval units. Now, if I pull 10 naval units into Sydney, only 7 of them are going to get resupplied. So That's something to be aware of. And I think, believe it or not, we're done with our turn. We can let Japan go. And Japan is now going to go, and we can watch and see if they do anything that we find interesting. I suspect they'll either take the Philippines or get close to taking the Philippines. And you can see this unit down here. Once they take Manila, the Philippines surrenders, and this guy will disappear. And he now he can move across this crossing, but he's not a Marine unit, so I cannot move him up there to do anything. Oh, they tried an interception, or we did. Now you see, he moved that naval unit. Our air group intercepted him, but honestly, uh, the delay is too short. I really couldn't see what happened. So we'll have to look at our combat log and find out exactly what happened there. And right now, they're not doing anything. I got to keep talking. No one dead air. That's the first thing on radio. I'm not in radio, but this is kind of like radio. No dead air. And they have crossed the Salween and they have cut the Burma Road. The Japanese have cut the Burma Road. The Burma Road goes up right through there. And they have that unit there. And they have cut it. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it back, honest with you. Right now, I don't think I will. Uh, this guy's going to be hard pressed. But hopefully I can get up here, get him up here. Or move this guy. There is a zone of control. So these two hexes are going to cause, like if I move this guy to there, this guy's zone of control makes that hex cost more normal than it is. He's attacking, cause me retreat, and he's going to move in to Singapore. Maybe. I'm still defending. That is a heals. So that guy's got some defense, good defense. But then I retreated out, and now I know I'm not breaking the Burma Road. He's got the Burma Road, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Burma Road provides Japan or China with extra production and supplies. That's a shame. He's taken Lingi in, and I don't think he's going to attack. Is he going to attack Manila? I can't tell. If he does, he will not have enough uh, operation points to move into it. He's moving to attack Batavia. If I was going to use that up there, he attacked Batavia. He did have enough to move into it, and the Philippines will end up surrendering. Japan has completed the conquest of the Philippines. Now, some people may look and say, wait a minute, this is kind of off. Uh, the Philippines didn't surrender till May. Uh, the game has Japan conquer them in January. By March of 1942, the Philippine situation was so bad that they had to order MacArthur to get out because they were scared he was going to get captured. So, no, they didn't surrender till May, but there wasn't really any significant army or core level resistance in the Philippines. And there we go. Philippines has surrendered. Allies deliver resources to the via the Burma Road because it was open before the Japanese took it. They shattered a bunch of units. We have a bunch of units ready to deploy. CV Yorktown, Saratoga, Colorado, and two destroyers. Uh, Supply convoy attacked, destroying 45 stockpile by Axis and 40 stockpile. We'll go look at them. Got a bunch of units with no supply, couple fleets. He put his I-74 submarine on the South Pacific convoy lane with four groups. He's got some major. He put four submarine groups. Doesn't tell me 147.18. So we can look here. Where's Hex 147.18? Right there it is. He's got four submarine groups right there. And they destroyed one of my merchant marines. That means I'm going to have to go back and adjust my convoys because I've got it shipping. I don't have to, but we'll talk about it. But basically, that's one less resource that I'm shipping out to New Zealand or the Philippines or Australia. I mean, he did another one, sinking five merchant marine and one escort. Holy cow! And then he sunk another two. So there are four Japanese submarines sunk, one, six, eight merchant marines. Oh my goodness. Oh, 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 oh. I think I know what we're going to be doing with our aircraft carriers. Holy cow. That is, I want to look at this. US had 43. We've now got 39. 47, I mean. We had 47. We've now got 39. Oh, come on, guys. So we look at our convoys, look at U.S. convoys. That's what we want to ship out. We're not shipping that out. And the thing about it is that we can leave this here and hope the AI ships out exactly what we want it to ship out. But I really don't want to do that. I want to be proactive and make a change. So first we're going to do our deploys. Now to deploy, you hit the deploy screen. You come up here, we got the Yorktown, says we can deploy. We're going to deploy in San Diego. We're going to deploy this, and we're going to deploy everything right here, right in San Diego. And now we have those units right there, and they are ready to go. Did we leave the grayling there? Well, it's getting moved now. As far as it can go. It's in fleet mode right now. That's okay. Now you notice Sky's got that yellow dot. Means he's low supply. We're going to take him back up here to Los Angeles. He'll get refueled, redone, and then we're going to take two of these guys and we're going to put them right on this as a sub hunter. And we're going to take these guys. Well, that's what I want to do, not the way I wanted it. But we got these two guys as sub hunters. And then we got our carriers with two destroyers and sub hunters. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to click off a bunch of this stuff. We don't want any of our battleships to move. Yeah, we'll take two destroyers or two cruisers. And we'll use three destroyers. And they're going to come down here and join up. That's aircraft carriers, surface ships. And now we've got a pretty good sized fleet, 4 carriers, and we're going to operate as sub hunters. 1, 2, 24 hexes, which is basically one movement. We'll move the entire fleet down here. Now, hopefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, still too far away. Next turn, we're going to move him down, and this whole stack here would act as a bonus to my escorts, and it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16%. Plus, if these guys were in range, it would be more. Oh my goodness, they just destroyed me there. Okay, I want to look at this interdiction here that happened. Last turn, naval air interdiction. See, he moved his, I'm trying to figure out what. It's the 61st Special Naval Landing Force. So he was moving a Marine unit on some ships. The Australian Air Force reacted because it was within his range to naval interdict, but it was also within the Japanese air superiority fighters' range to escort. So there's an air combat. The Australian unit lost one unit. Then the Australian unit did an airstrike, lost another strength point for nothing. We also did some supply interdiction. Okay, now see this base here, they haven't taken it, and because they've got units within range, they're doing a supply interdiction, and they destroyed 45 stockpiles. So this is the size to be poured, should be getting 60. They destroyed 45, and they destroyed 40 out of this one, and this is same thing. So you see they're automatically air units within 4, naval units within 2 do supply interdiction. He's got a submarine here. He's got something, 3 ships, 2 battleships. I'd like to bring my carriers down here. We're going to attack. Yeah, we're going to see what happens. Fleet cannot attack in raider mode. Must switch to blah, blah, blah. Fine, we're going to go to fleet mode. And we didn't do nothing. Our submarines are lousy. Now we still got an operation point. We can attack again, but in fleet mode, say he comes down here with these 2 BBs. And let's say we do this. We attack right here. We will not be able to change out of fleet mode. That means he's going to come down here. And when he comes down here, my submarine's going to say, oh, look, we're in fleet mode. He's moving. He's in our range. We want to intercept him. So we'll intercept him, and our submarine will die. So we're going to change him back to radar mode. Can we change him? Nope, we can't. We're going to retreat him out of there. Getting a bad weather of the Coral Sea. This guy, we're in radar mode. But we're damaged. 3 ships, 1 ship. We're gonna try this. Fleet cannot attack. Yeah, but it highlights them. I wonder why it highlighted him. I'm gonna get him out of there because he can be attacked right there because he's next to land. We're gonna put him right here. Keep him in raider mode. This gives us a little bit of reconnaissance. It's kind of risky though because he's wounded. But we're gonna see we're gonna do it. And, just see what happens. Our RAF unit is up to 9. He's up to 11. They're building up. We got a nice little cruiser here. If you didn't have those 2 battleships, I'd think about it. Two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2. See, I'm thinking those are coastal ships. I don't know that, so I'm gonna try attacking here. Yep, we're gonna naval attack, and our cruiser didn't do nothing, and it used all its points, all of its operation points. So if he's smart, he's gonna come down with these BBs, and the Australian cruiser Canberra is going to die. But when he does, this guy right here will get to attack him. And so will he. Now, here's the cool thing. In fact, I'm going to airstrike this. I lose 2, he loses nothing. Hey, we're gaining experience. And even though now, he, he has no operation points left. On Japan's turn, he will still be able to do a naval interception within his range, which is 10. So he's okay there. He can do 2 naval interceptions on Japan's turn. What he could not do is in a range of 4, which is his range. So let's say Japan actually owned San Cristobal. Right now, San Cristobal's a size 1 port. Japan would be putting 20 supplies in the air. If this was Japan, this unit's in air unit within 4. 1, 2, 3. It's on support mode. It would be able to interdict some of those supplies. But because I don't have any operation points left, it would not interdict these supplies. But that's allied. There's nothing within a range of 4, so it don't matter. Naval units to interdict supplies. So like if let's say this guy lands and takes this, we would be interdicting supplies to Buin because our naval unit is within 2 naval units. I do not think have to have a range of 2. The, the ally, look, I'm not the greatest of all strategists. Usually, if it's a pretty good AI, it can give me it can give me I won't say a run for my I'll say sometimes a run for my money. Depends upon the game. We got this air unit. It's gonna die here soon. Let's do some airstrikes. It lost a lot. What is this unit? 2 BBs. Don't know why I lost so much. Let's airstrike this, and it didn't do nothing. Wish we could save that air unit. We can. We got to get this guy out of there. We're going to put him on naval. He's on support. He's prioritized. We're going to put him right there. And now he's got a range of 10. He will do some naval interdiction up here. This is why air power is just so massive. I've noticed moved a lot of his air units from China. He might be making a push for Rangoon. Right now, I don't know. And just like that, we have cut this guy off. Now, what that means is, right now he's a very strong unit, but he's out of supply. He's going to be losing supply for, and he is going to eventually get down to where we will be able to do something. India production points. I'm going to explain why I'm looking. We have no stockpile, means the units that are in garrison, they have to stay in garrison, but that's okay because they defend at the same rate. Now we're not going to be able to move these guys out. You'll see this river. Tagging against the river is a major uh, penalties. So get our general down here and we can click and we can see all these units with ribbons. Those are all units that he's helping command right now. The UK, I bring him over here because eventually maybe we'll get some UK units in here. And he's already in a place to help command, but he cannot do anything. He cannot command the Indian units. This unit, this unit is it's going to have problems. We're going to switch them. Just if it's got any points left, you can always switch them out here. We're going to switch these guys. Now the reason I switched them is because see now this guy is weaker in my opinion than this guy, or at least it looked like he was. It looks like they're about to say, well, this guy's a stronger. 3 defend versus, well, 3 defend, yeah. All right, they're about the same. But see, now he's behind the river. He's got a 2 defend. He's got a 2 defend, but he's got more strength. So, no, we can't switch him. But we can do this. Hopefully, hold Rangoon. That may have been a mistake. And the reason I say that may have been a mistake because now he can move that unit there, move it the unit there, and get a 2-on-1. That's the thing about naval movement. You gotta, or land unit, you gotta watch what you're doing. Now I'm gonna take this guy down here. I want to look at something here. We're gonna do a little bit of a risk. We're gonna take the UK fleet. Now, one point we could still have. We're gonna move down here. And you see, they tried naval intercepting, and we just had a huge combat. And we're going to get to look and see just what happened. But we know we wiped something out. This was a good move. This is a good move on our part. All right. So current turn, we tried naval airstrikes. All right, here we go. We tried naval airstrikes. All right, here we go. The Dutch East Indies, they did that airstrike, it didn't do nothing. The Dutch East Indies did that airstrike, failed to find the enemy. And then we moved our fleet down here, and they had a cruiser and two battle cruisers said, "Hey, we're going to try to intercept the carrier." And wow, the attacker launches torpedoes. It was a night action. Our destroyer took some damage. Our Hermes, that hurts bad. That hurts really bad. Uh, the Hermes only has three strength points, and it took two of them. But in the night action, they lost a cruiser, the battle cruiser Harana and the battle cruiser Congo. So our Revenge, Repulse, Prince of Wales, which we shouldn't have brought, but I think we did anyway. Yeah, it's still damaged. See, it wasn't fully repaired, and we know it didn't take any hits, but they sunk some good Japanese ships. But then there's something called pursuit combat. When a surface fleet moves its two full action points, we moved our two full action points, but then we couldn't attack. And so there's something called pursuit combat, where it still allows our unit to attack, uh, but at 50%. So the Hermes launched an air strike against the Yamato and this Japanese destroyer squadron. We didn't lose nothing. They didn't lose nothing. So we look at our force now. Got the Hermes is hurting big time. Prince of Wales is damaged, but we're out of operation points, so we can't move them. We're in fleet mode now, and so what's going to happen now is if he moves this guy, we should react automatically. Now, luckily, we have an aircraft carrier. He doesn't. It's very difficult for surface ships to get involved in combat with carriers, so maybe the Hermes will survive. What I'm worried about is if one of these is a carrier and he moves that down there, I could lose the Hermes. But that was a wonderful that battle of the Java Sea, which went much better than the Allies' battle of the Java Sea. I want to go ahead and back him up. I want to make sure we're in supply. Looking good there. Move him right there. Form a good solid line. Move him up. Let's get him back. This guy, the AI never moves this guy, but look at that combat value. I if he went marching up in there, I could have some trouble. This guy's pretty good. We're going to put him right here. I do not want him attacked. He's got a 6 combat value, a 1 in hills and snow, though. I'm still retreating him. Cut this guy off. That's awesome. All right. We moved our units. Moved our units. Did really all we can do. Did wonderful there. Did okay there. That sub could be in trouble. That cruiser is in trouble. Oh, we still got. Wait a minute. You know what? We want to park you in. No, no, we don't want to do that. Let's undo that move. The reason I want to undo that move, he cannot get repaired there. We'll move him this way. Get close to somewhere where we can get repaired. The pike is repaired. Put you in raider mode. Put you out here. Let me see what's going on. No movement points left. No movement points left. I think we're done. The U.S. battle wagon fleet is getting slowly repaired. Surface action group, that's what I like to call them. Let's put Canada. Might as well put him on garrison duty. And that's it. There's no more. We're ready for the next turn. We're going to save it. And I will see you the next video. Should be tomorrow. You guys have a good day. Leave a like, comment, either on the here on YouTube, better yet, Matrix forums. Tell me what you think. Tell me something you want to see. Tell me something you think I'm doing wrong. Till next time.